I'm Ben.
I'm Lou.
And we're Nihilists. Really great, it's been really fun. These are like bigger venues than we've ever done before. I'm a bit nervous, but they've all been really, really busy and really fun.
Like crazy the shows have been and stuff.
Yeah, because we've always been one of those bands that does like say to yourself like, oh, let's just keep doing like 150 cap venues all the time. And then I think on this tour we pushed ourselves to like double that venue size. We were always just a bit like, I know we can do it, but it's like it's just so nerve-wracking. I'd rather fill a 150 cap room than like and make it crazy rather than having like a 300 cap venue that's like full but like not quite. Then all the rooms have been like slammed, so it's been like really good. We didn't expect it.
Yeah.
I kind of believe in us now. Yeah, we've got some festivals, like we're doing, I can't say too many of them because they're not all like confirmed yet, but we're going to be around. And we've got another single coming out in a couple of weeks called Jelly,
Nice.
which is part of the Just Like You Jelly one. And then we're going to go to the studio again, aren't we? And record a couple more singles. And this year we just want to like lay back and do singles and not a second album. We're just going to do like a year of singles where we just keep dropping songs left, right and centre. I definitely like look up to a lot of like female musicians, but for me it's more just it sounds such a dumb thing to say, but like either way, it doesn't matter to me. A man, woman, transgender, like white, Hispanic, Latino, anything. It's all just for me. It's like if I really like the music, then I'm obviously gonna really like the music either way. On our team, we have, I don't know, since we started this band, we've worked with like so many amazing like female musicians and also female like people in the music industry. So we've always had like a massive like on our team. We've always been really, really involved with like women in music that aren't necessarily on stage. If you don't want to go on stage and play, there's so many other things you can do, like what you guys are doing and stuff. Like that's not always like everyone forgets about the important stuff that happens in the music industry that isn't just like walking on stage to 1,000 people and everyone cheering. It's just nice to see like strong women doing it and not like giving a fuck, because punk is very forgiving but also quite horrible at the same time.
Less industry wankers, probably. No, it's getting like to the point that we were getting out last year. It was like we were sort of going up and up and up. We like took a step back and we're like we're top shelf still, and it's like just so much better to work with your friends basically.
Yeah.
I never started a punk band to like work with people in suits and ties. I mean, definitely bigger shows we play now, you can't see, you really like the lights are on you and you can only see so much. But at the end of the day, like when you're rocking out, it's hard to see what else is going on. And obviously, I do sometimes in the front row see someone jump off the stage and like kick someone, and I always kind of go, further back than the first couple of rows. You know, anything could be going on back there, and we have no idea, which is sad. But it's kind of impossible to be aware of every like if there's 300 people in a room, like it's hard for us to be doing our thing and also making sure that everything is like being responsible. That's why there's like security and other people around.
I actually wasn't really aware, especially like as men, like
It is horrible.
Just, like
when it's something that doesn't happen directly to you, often like it's so easy to forget about it. I would never do anything like that at a gig, and I think to myself, why would anyone do that at a gig? And you think that, you know, if you're all at the same gig together and you're at like an indie rock show or a punk show, like there shouldn't be any of that stigma where you feel like you have any right to touch anybody else. And obviously at a gig when you're all crammed into a room, it is hard to maintain that. But if you do knock someone, you can just say, oh, I'm really sorry. It doesn't take much. Never ever like grab someone in an inappropriate fashion. And I think to myself like, I'm in this really cool like punk scene where everyone's really like good and collective, and it's kind of horrible that there is like scumbaggy people out there who will do that. I've definitely been aware of it more and more recently. I think I was just had a bit too much faith in the scene.
Yeah.
I think obviously we were saying before, like it's just a platform. Like people like you guys are way more important, I think.
Than we are.
Like.
But doing this together is the best thing we can do.
Like
But using your platform for good and not for bad is obviously like what we have always wanted to do, and what I'm sure all the other bands you interviewed want to use it for good. So like anything we can do to help, we are always here. If I found out that someone got sexually harassed or hurt, or like they didn't want to come to gigs anymore because they came to one of our gigs and something like that happened to them, I'd be absolutely devastated. I just think they need to be more sensitive to it. Like, again, security guards at gigs, gender-wise, what we're thinking, men. And I think that the venues like this have to have a responsibility to, like, when they hire a security team, they need to sit them down on day one and say, right, so there's going to be gigs here, there's going to be people from the ages of 14 to the ages of, like, 30.
Yeah.
And there's going to be male and female and possibly any other kind of, like, preference. And it's going to be, like, you need to make sure that everyone's okay. And that if, like, there's smaller people in the audience versus bigger people, you need to be, like, not looking for the people, like, jumping up and down. You need to be looking at the people who are, like, being jumped up and down. Not. And they just need to have a talk about how, like, stuff like being groped at gigs does happen. And if the venue staff are very aware of that, then hopefully they'll be able to look out for it more than just someone who threw a pint in the air. But I know there's definitely security guards out there who will be more open, more in the know about it, because they've had people come up to them and be like, I got kicked in the face, or like, someone just touched my butt. You should have it sorted before anything actually happens. You shouldn't. The problem is, it's so hard for me to say it shouldn't let you ruin the fun, because I'm not in a position of, like, I'm not entitled to say that to people. If you have, like, if you go to gigs with, like, a strong group of friends and you all stick together and, like, and if you see people who are being, like, assholes, then just, like, move well away from them, and then tell the staff, so if you see anything happen, then even if that person's not going to report it, then you should report it, whether you're directly involved with it or not. Yeah, I'd always say, like, don't let it ruin it, because at the end of the day, like, letting other people take away how much fun you have in music because of stuff like that is unfair. If you really love music and you want to go to gigs, then no one should be allowed to ruin that. And if it's happened to you before and you know you've had an experience in it, then, like, making other people aware of it so everyone's always on the lookout. So if it does happen or anything even comes close to happening, you can be like, him out now, her out now, whoever out now. See you later, dude. If you've done it and you obviously feel bad about it and you don't want to do it again, then you need to make some sort of public apology, whether the person who was involved in it sees it or not. And if they're not sorry for what they did, and if they don't even realise that it's an important thing that they can't do, then I wouldn't really want to see them show. For some strange reason, in this, like, very liberal day and age that we live in, like, men still think they possess more than they possess. Whether that be, like, they think they have the, like, privilege to, like, touch anyone else that they can't, or even just, it's not even just touching, it's just, like, it can be, like, vocal or verbal, like, they have no right to kind of act in that way. That's a much huger problem. I don't know how the hell that's all going to come to an end. But the wider problem is something that individually no one can do anything about. The more we as in the people who believe in like equality and like gender politics, everyone need to like push so much for that and make the people who maybe they're just ignorant to it and they don't see it, or maybe they genuinely are kind of horrible people and think that they deserve and own more than they actually have the right to it. And it's sad to say, but sometimes those people are lost causes. You just have to chalk that up to a loss and hope that you can try and influence as many people as you can. But it's got a lot better. It's been getting better and better every year. Like 2015 and 2016, 2 huge years for like a massive feminist movement in indie rock again, which is so good. Yeah, this is huge. Like I remember when I was first going to gigs when I was like 15, it's like 7 or 8 years ago. It was a lads club. Like indie rock was like a boys club, and now it's not like that anymore. It's got so much better. Yeah. So let's just hope in another 10 years it's going to be so much better than it is now. That's because people like you doing things and there's a lot of people out there who are like standing up for stuff, and even us as well. Like we don't stand for any of that shit. So
We're Night Harvest and we support Girls Against.